Hello, good evening. Uh, and as you now know, I'm mother of the bride, I'm Barbara. Okay. I'd like to say it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see you all here today. The friends and family of Louise and Sil gathered in one place, and this time to celebrate. Hey! And and I'm sure that you know that this day has been imagined and planned and created and arranged by Louise and Sil. But I would like to add my personal thanks to everyone involved in making this event a success. To Lou's sister, Frances, and the other bridesmaids, to the crafty friends, to FUM, the caterers, and all those involved backstage. It's wonderful to know that so many people have worked so hard to make this day so special. As I prepared this speech, it was really early, one morning this week, which was unusually early for me because being so far ahead of time. I woke with a fitness start because I knew that I had to commit this to paper, but really I've been thinking about it for ages. There were lots of ideas that had to be sifted and sorted and discarded, like the baby stories and the embarrassing bits, and until everything came together to create this finished piece, which is truly from my heart. Okay? Experience told me that even as I wrote it in rough, that I'd have to work on it and perfect it over time, until it was time to deliver these words to you, and that even though this may not be perfect, it is the best that I can do, and that I will feel different when this is done. Phew. There is a joke in our family that we really are good at doing everything at the last minute, by the skin of our teeth, as it were, whether it's about getting ready to go out, or gathering things to go shopping or on holiday, or even taking exams and tests. In reality, we have probably been planning to do any and all of those things for a long time, and although there's time to learn and prepare, just before whatever it is that we have to do, it might be nerve-wracking because we have to stop preparing and just blooming do it. Today's event has been a long time in the planning, creating and making, and commitment to, and then doing. But because you have had the vision and the energy to do this, it's come together. And it's wonderful to be here in the present, presenting you with our love and witnessing this unique and sparkly declaration of your lives together. And you know that you can make the most amazing things happen because you've chosen to make other changes, big changes and decisions in your life before. And you've just done them, like envisioning living together, or your commitment to buying your home, and then signing the papers, and then doing it. And you know that you're going to be different, passing from the club to homeowners, which is different to flat sharers and different to just living with your parents. Lou and I had a brief chat about the differences in the way that you feel when you marry, and I realised that she couldn't know until they'd actually done it. The difference between being together for a long time in marriage and realising that marriage really is different, and that you've heard it from other people, but until you experience it yourself, well, then you really don't know. And that's the exciting part, and another of life's wonderful adventures. Like the first one between the two of us, when I carried you out of the hospital when you were born and said, "This is your first adventure." And look at all the adventures you've had since then, and how good you are at all of that. You are brave and willing and always try to learn. We're good at seemingly doing things by the skin of our teeth, as I said, but they nearly always come together because we really have the vision, and we've practiced, and we're committed, and we really have the faith to try to pass from one stepping stone to another, to be brave, and we really do it to make the very best changes in our lives. Although Lou and Sil have known each other for hundreds of years, this step of commitment marks the moving from belonging to a different club, the club of married people. And yes, there really is a different feel and change in the psyche between being together, living together, and being married, isn't there? Because I know that you know now, and right now, and because you've done it. Marriage works when you realise that it's the best that you can do, when you give it your best, that you practice and perfect, and then you get better at it with time, and as you remember your vision, that you know that it's an adventure and you still have to be brave. Experience makes you confident, but you have to be brave first. Louise, you look beautiful today. And I know that no one in the room would disagree with me in saying that you are the most beautiful person here right now, far outshining anyone or anything here. But then you know that you are a star. I know that I'm so lucky that you're my daughter, and this moment for me is wonderful as I witness your transformation. And Sil, you look really handsome today. And I'm so proud and happy that you've captured our star. And I'm very lucky that you are now my son-in-law and a proper part of my family in law and in love. At this time, I'd like to propose a toast to the bride and groom. He's wishing you a lifetime of happiness, fun, bravery and adventure. To the bride and groom. Cheers. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now the groom has some words to say. Over to you.
Well, thank you, Mum, for that beautiful speech. Whoa. Thank God I'm married! I just want to start by thanking our mums with a little gift. So I'll just grab it for you. Sorry, I should have planned this ahead. Okay. They're both the same. Thank you very much. Thank you. Most of you know that I met Louise at university. Back when, you know, I thought I was the man. Rocking my Armani jeans and my Armani t-shirt. And the moment I saw her, I knew I had to put my charm on. So, so my charm, only way I knew, my Joey Tribbiani, South East London style. You alright, darling? You might laugh, but she fell in love with me right there and then. And she's never turned away from that. We've been together for quite a while now, and we've been through a lot together, and we've already achieved so much in our lives. And it's been an amazing journey so far, you know, coming up to 9 years. And this is just a new start for us now. And during that time, we've built such a good bond together, and we've just grown closer and closer, and it's just been great. Louise, you look absolutely stunning today. And she's not just beautiful in her appearance, but she's beautiful in her personality as well. Um, she's the most kind and generous person, and she's always helping others, and you really don't give yourself enough credit for that. So yeah, thank you very much. I'm definitely a much better person because of you. So after all this time, I managed to pluck enough courage out to actually ask her to marry me. And I should have done this a long time ago, and I knew she'd always been the one for me. So I didn't ask her to marry me because I felt that I was old enough now, or I felt it was the right time, or just because everyone was bugging me to. No. The reason I've married you is my marriage to you is a promise that I will love you more when we're old and grey, more than I love you today. It's been such an amazing day today. I want to thank you all for being here to enjoy our special day together. You've really made our day. Thank you very much. So I just want to raise our glasses again, really, and propose another toast to everyone here, all you beautiful people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so now on to the best part of the speeches, which is the best men's speech. So, where's Jem? Jem, come up here, please. Cad, come up here, please. Michael, get up here. No, over there. Where are you going? Where are they going? Oh, okay. Out the front here, look, right at the front. Stand right here. Thank you. And Sal, come. Line up for me, please. I just want to say a few words for you guys as well. But first of all, I know what you're thinking. This ain't a best man, this is an entourage. Yeah, and I know else what you're thinking. Why has he got 4 best men? But of course I have. I'm a geezer.
I left my speech on the table.
So all 4 of these guys have really played a really important part of my life on a serious note. And I can always trust them. And they are my own personal superheroes. In fact, let's show everyone how much of a superhero you guys are. So I'd like you all to do your own superhero pose for me, please. One by one. And let's start with you, Jem. Go! And Cad, let's have your superhero pose.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves
And
just like
Michael,
flies. Look
your
out.
superhero pose.
Here comes the Spider-Man.
Yes! Savior of the universe!
And Sal, your superhero pose.
Yes!
Go on, do it again.
He's saving the world!
Alright, so thank you all very much again. I'll pass over to the best men, and we'll start with Sal.
I must say that was emotional.
And talking about the superhero thing, by the way, I had no idea you was going to bring that up. Yeah, so in this speech that I've written, I had no idea, mate. I'm shocked that you actually mentioned superhero, but you'll see the relevance in a moment. Anyway, well, brother, I hope you make the most of that speech. Now that you're a married man, that'd be the last time you get to speak for 3 minutes without being interrupted. Yeah? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Sal, and this tradition, on these occasions, I'm here to welcome all you to this very special day and point out the fire exits. And for those of you who don't already know Sil, give you a bit of a background of what an amazing person he really is. Firstly, I think everybody will agree that the bridesmaids look absolutely gorgeous. And Louise, thank you. And Louise, can I just say, you look stunning, absolutely stunning. Whereas Sil, you just look stunned. Although I did agree not to embarrass Sil tonight, I have very fond memories of growing up together. He had this crazy obsession with superheroes. And he'd just watched Superman for the very first time. Next thing we knew, he was on top of the garden shed, pretending to be Superman. He dived off the shed, landed on his head. He then got up and casually walked away from the crime scene, thinking that nobody had seen him, pretending he was okay. He must have lasted 10 seconds before the intense reality of pain kicked in. It was an absolute miracle that he hadn't ended up spending the evening in A&E. It wasn't long after that when he realised that actually he did not possess superhuman powers after all. However, brother, I believe that what you are and what you represent is far more valuable and spectacular than any supernatural power could ever be. You're genuine, kind-hearted, intelligent, witty, charismatic. I know it sounds like a CV, but anyway, yeah. And the list just goes on. But ultimately, you're amazing and you're a beautiful human being. And I'm so proud and privileged that you're my brother. Louise, you're a beautiful, wonderful woman, and you deserve a wonderful husband. You're perfect together. May your love be modern enough to survive the times and old-fashioned enough to last forever. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, let's give the gorgeous couple the toast that they deserve. Raise your glasses in honor of my brother, and very best friend, beautiful wife, Sil and Louise.
Hello, everyone. I'm sure based on my recent behaviour, you're all expecting me to screw up. Wrong. I'd just like to say, based on the speeches that are yet to come, which are pretty lengthy, I'd like to keep mine pretty short. I'd just like to congratulate Suleyman and Louise on their marriage. I think we can all agree they make a wonderful couple. And I'd like to wish them every happiness for the future. Thank you.
That was short and sweet. Right, everyone. Seeing as Sil struggled to choose the best man, I'll try and keep this short, but also sweet. Thank you. Just clear my throat. We ready? Right, so for those who do not know me, my name's Kadir, or everyone likes to call me Cad. Thanks, Sam. At least someone's in the room. A little bit more contribution, people, that'd be good. Right, okay, so it only seems like yesterday I was asking Sil to be the best man at my wedding. That was 7 years ago. And here we are today, and I hope he's regretting the embarrassing stories that he told at my wedding. I've got it all on film. So, Sil has been the closest person to me, also like a brother. I'm choking as well now, look, that's terrible, isn't it? He's pretty much part of all my childhood memories, as long as I can remember. The ones that spring to mind are us getting up to mischief, really, and our nan, known as Annan there, chasing us around the garden, around the washing line in particular, holding a slipper. Yeah, that was me, actually. You was following. She never did catch us. We was a bit quick. Also, the time I chucked a cushion at him at his house, he ducked. Yeah, MLD says, fine bone china vase. Was never the same again, was it? No. I've never lived that one down. It's still your fault. You shouldn't have ducked. The best story, though, had to be when, well, thanks, Al. Had to be when Sil decided it was a good idea to climb onto the garden shed. To which I followed him, because I thought it was also a very, very good idea. He thought it was an even better idea to jump off the garden shed. I didn't think it was a very good idea. A visit to A&E and a bottle of super glue later, I think he realised he couldn't fly. Anyway, when Sil met Louise, our relationship became even closer. Me, Claire, my wife, for those who don't know, Sil and Louise would often go out, having dinner together, having fun, and then me and Claire had kids. That didn't happen anymore. But the most interesting experience we had before we had kids had to be when we went to Florida together and we tried to order a Chinese. Apparently they don't call things the same things we call them over here. I asked for a chow mein. They didn't understand what a chow mein was. They said lo mein. I said chow mein. After we agreed that a lo mein was actually what we wanted, Sil decided to join in and carried on saying chow mein. We never did work that one out, but it did taste good, so that was fine. Right, who wants to hear about the stag weekend? Nah, don't think so. Right, to finish up, I would like to offer some post-marriage advice to probably Sil and Louise, actually. I'll drop a little bit in there. Sil, it's always good to set the ground rules to establish who's boss. Then do everything Louise says. Sil, the wife is always right. Even if she's wrong, it's not worth the headache, mate. She's right. Trust me. And remember, marriage is always about give and take. Sil, always give. Louise, take. I'll get on to a serious bit now. So 28 years since we landed on this earth, thanks to our mothers. He's my son's godfather. He's my best friend, my best man, and my brother. And I look forward to all the great times to come. Raise your glasses one last time. For me, that is, not for these guys. To Sil and Louise. I would raise my glass, but I'm holding a mic.
Oh, God. All right, calm down, calm down. I'm sure everyone is getting a bit tired of all these speeches, you know, you've had a few. So I promise you this will be the quickest 3.5 hours you've ever had in your life. I just made a few notes, that's all. Well, actually, I've been asked to speak for no longer than 3 minutes, but I spoke to Sil and I said, Sil, I'm going to need that just for the applause, mate. Oh, it's a bit early, So, those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike, aka Bubble, the only Greek guy at a Turkish wedding. Except for Effie, apparently. Effie? There we go. Greek girl, sorry, not a guy. I don't think I need to speak about why we're all here today. We're gathered for a very special occasion. Free drink. I'd like to congratulate Jem especially on his truly magnificent speech. When I found out I had to go after him, I always know it would be hard to follow, and I was right. I could hardly follow a word of it. Now, a lot of you have travelled a great distance to be here today on a special day, and I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of Sil and Louise's friends and family, and I have to say, despite what they've been saying, you're all very nice people. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. They haven't really. Right. Now, this needs a cheer, okay? I know you've been a bit dead tonight, so this needs a cheer. I have to say, Louise is looking absolutely beautiful. Sil, you're a very lucky guy, and Louise deserves someone who is smart, caring, funny, good looking. So thank God she married you before she was able to find that guy. Now, I've mentioned how good everyone looks here today, and Sil has specifically asked me to make sure to mention how good the bridesmaids look. Seeing as this is Louise's wedding as well, I thought it only fair to mention her in my speech. So let's just delay the embarrassment of Sil for a minute, and let's embarrass Louise. Why not? I love you, yeah. As most of you know, Louise is the perfect example of a lady. She's very polite, she's quite reserved. But if you have the privilege of following her on Facebook, you will see that she comes out of that shell. So, myself and the rest of the guys, we picked out a few of our favourite posts. And I decided I would read some of them out for you today. Sil gave me permission to do this, okay? So you can blame him. So, back in November 2010, she wrote, I know it's 11 a... Sorry, I'm going to try and say these in how I think she would say them, okay? I know it's 11 a.m., but I need a very large glass of wine. It gets better. Going back a little bit, December 2009, the squirty cream has arrived. These are all true. These are all true. November 2008, Louise posted just one word, bum. Do you want to explain that one, or? No? Okay. Okay, and lastly, and forgive me for the profanity in this one, jumping forward, October 2010, OMG, we just scared a bunch of brownies shitless. She's not denying it, look. They did. Okay, I better stop before they get a bit too rude. Sorry if this is dragging on a little bit. Right, we go back to Sil. So, Suleyman, Jehan, Salih. Who would have thought from my earliest memory of you laughing at me when I fell off that tricycle in nursery, standing over me saying, "Get up, Greek boy, get up," that I would be here today speaking at your wedding? I'm only joking, that didn't happen. It was a space hopper. Now, in all seriousness, Sil, I am honoured and I thank you for having me as a best man. I've known you for 24 years and you are honestly like a brother to me. I'm not going to cry like Cad did, don't worry. All right? I could not be happier for both of you on your amazing day. Now, on that note, I'm going to take the piss out of you for a few minutes. Now, I've brought a few stories with me. But as I was walking up here, Sil pulled me aside and he said, don't tell that one, don't tell that one. So I'm going to have to sort of filter through these a little bit. So just bear with me. No. No. Probably racist. No. Oh, God, no. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, this one's a good one. No, sorry, that's illegal. Aha. Sil. Can I tell them about the time we went to Lloyd's bar and the bouncer wouldn't let us in unless you clucked like a chicken in front of the queue? I can't tell them. Okay, sorry, I can't tell you guys that one. What about the time when you was in Mayo's house and you tried to do a backflip and you went head first for his banisters? Did you get those replaced in the end? Ah, you owe him, mate. To be fair, Sil was a cool guy and I don't really have that many stories on him. He barely ever puts a foot wrong. Even in his driving test, he only got one mark on his paper. Just one thing wrong. One thing in the whole driving test. That poor dog, I tell you, that poor dog. I haven't got that many stories. All of those are actually about Louise, believe it or not. Now, we only ever fell out once, and basically what happened was we was playing the classic game of cops and robbers. Do you know it? Well, some of you know it, okay. Basically, we couldn't agree who got to be the cop and who got to be the robber. And it escalated so bad that we was calling each other names and we ended up both running home crying to our mums. But I'm pleased to say, obviously, we made up, and the next day, sure enough, Sil sent me an email from work and said sorry. So as you can see, I'm one of 4 groomsmen today, and I just have to touch on this subject because Sil is the most indecisive person you'll ever meet in your life. We went to Blue Water 6 times for these suits. 6 times.
No, really 6 times.
We really did. And it got too much in the end, and I had to pull Sil aside, and I said, "All right, Sil, you are too indecisive, mate." And do you know what he said back to me? "I don't know what to think about that." He actually phoned me a couple of weeks ago because he was really nervous, and I said, "Sil, don't worry. I'll give you some words of wisdom. This is the best thing that you've ever done. You've waited your whole life for this, and you will never forget it. It was a brilliant stag weekend, I have to say." So I remember when I first heard Sil and Louise meeting, I was in my car, and Sil phones me up from his car from university, the party capital of the world. And I could hear this girl in the background. And I found out it was indeed Louise. It was her, yeah? Oh, cool. Now, apparently, they had their first date a few days before this, and Sil took Louise to a really flashy restaurant, but he's never told me where it was. What he told me was he wanted to keep it a secret so the place remains special only to them, which is fair enough. The only bit of information I got was that he wooed Louise that night. He wooed her. And he used this line. He said, "Darling, if you were on the menu here, you'd be a muck gorgeous." I'm gonna wrap it up because I know I've gone on a bit too long. So I've got a few messages I need to read out on behalf of people who couldn't make it here today. First one is from Sil's work colleagues. They wanted me to tell you that their nickname for him is the God. It's true. Apparently, he makes his own rules, and if he ever does any work, it's usually a miracle. The next message: we hope you like your look. Have a wonderful day. From all the guys at the eyebrow parlour. And lastly, last message. We are sorry we couldn't be there today. It's just too emotional to be losing one of the top guys. From all the girls at the Fantasy Palace. I'm going to wrap it up. So, I'd just like to finish by saying that Sil is a true friend. He never ceases to amaze me with his kindness. He has listened to me through many a crisis, and trust me, there's been a few. He gives without any thought of reward. He is a super guy and a role model of a friend. And I would like to raise your glasses and wish the happy couple all the best in the future. To Mr. and Mrs. Saleh.